Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Secrets of the Fallen Heart. Episode 6. Chapter 42. That can't be true. On Levi's recording, Reagan mentioned my mother, and she was alive when she took me. So why is she lying, saying my parents had already died? I stare at her for a while, wondering how to do this. I shouldn't let her know about that conversation with Clark we heard, but... Both my parents were dead? Are you sure? I ask again. I just told you so, groans Reagan, impatient. You were the only living being I could find, so I took you with me and fled the place. Wait. Didn't you try to understand what had happened? Who had done this to our clan? But Reagan shakes her head. I couldn't, Elena. I had a 2-year-old brat in my paws, and something bad was there. What do you mean, something bad? She sniffles, a bad expression on her face like she saw something repulsive. I don't know. My inner wolf couldn't calm down, like crawling down my spine. I could tell something filthy was there, something dangerous. Whatever had attacked was still there, and lurking for more. I ran away with you, and headed south. All the way to the White Moon territory, I said, mending the pieces together. That's right. That was as far as I could go with a 2-year-old. Since I was a renegade from another pack, they had no obligation to accept me in. But you were there. No werewolf can ignore a defenseless pup, let alone a little orphan alpha like you. She's right. Our wolf instincts are always pushing us to protect the younger ones of our kind, even if they don't belong to our pack. Any cub is a werewolf's responsibility, that's something we cannot ignore. No wonder the White Moon didn't reject her when she brought me with her. You still haven't told me why I'm different. She sighs. Our whole pack was different, Elena. Our Luna made it so. I told you, she was very powerful and blessed by the moon goddess. Everyone in our pack was stronger than common werewolves. I'm not sure I believe that. Once again, Reagan is not looking at me while saying that, and I feel like there is still a lot she isn't telling me. I'm a bit disappointed. I was hoping she would tell me more about my parents. I tried to go back several times after that, sighs Reagan. That's why you left for so long every time. She nods. It takes a while to go so far in the north, but I could never reach our homeland anyway. What do you mean? I ask, perplexed. I don't know. Something is blocking me. Every time I should reach the destination, I get lost, as if I couldn't find my way, like a maze. I should know the place by heart, but something very, very odd happens. I'm not that old that I would forget the way back. Moreover, it's coming closer. Whatever it is, it's headed south, our way. So this is why you don't want me going north. She turns to me, looking very serious. She puts a hand on my knee, whispering. Elena, whatever attacked our pack is coming to us. It's slow, but it is. I sigh. Listening to Reagan, even despite her serious tone, I can't tell how serious she actually is. An invisible threat, coming after us? And after killing our full pack too? Isn't she just trying to keep me distracted with more lies? Reagan, are you lying to me again? Elena, I'm serious. But every bit of this doesn't make sense. Seriously, all I can hear are excuses for me not to leave the White Moon. Why do you always lie to me? How old do you think I am to believe in an invisible threat who decimated a full, super strong pack? She growls, seriously angry. You think I'm joking? I think you're lying to me, again. I yell back. You never, ever tell me the truth. That was the truth, you brat. How am I supposed to believe this? None of this makes any sense, and it doesn't answer my questions either. You never tell me what I really want to know, about my parents, where I come from. Reagan stands up, grabbing her backpack and leaving money on the counter. Enough with your whims, Elena. If you don't want to listen, I am listening, but you're just spitting nonsense, Reagan. I can't tell if that pack really existed. If it did, and we were both born there, how would you not even know about my parents? She's glaring at me, but I won't look down. We are both angry and frustrated. Around us, all our yelling has silenced the rest of the people present, who are watching the scene with curiosity. I couldn't care less. Reagan pushes her grey hair away from her face and turns around. I am not talking about your parents. I don't want to, and anyway, all of this is about our pack, Elena, that's all you need to know. Of course. Once again, she gets to decide what I have to know or not. I can't believe that old hag. She knows I'm dying to know the truth about my birth, and she only keeps me in the dark as always. Without adding a word, Reagan leaves like that, turning her back on me while we're still angrily growling at each other. I'm left watching my mentor exits the place, leaving me speechless. Elena. Bianca approached me with a sorry look, but I can't handle the pity on her face for now. I shake my head, meaning I don't want to talk and leave the bar. I forgot about that rain. It's pouring. Reagan is already nowhere to find, of course. She disappears so easily. She came, said what she had to and left. That old hag. Was all of this story just because she didn't want me to leave the territory? I don't even know what to believe in that incredible story she said. Some parts do match with what I thought, but she also lied about my parents, and that so-called attacker or whatever. I don't know what to believe. I'm feeling so lonely right now. Maybe it's this rain, or because I'm tired, but I feel like crying again. Danny. Babe, what's wrong? I reached out to him by reflex, but my thoughts aren't even clear enough to explain it to him. I can't think of words to express this mass of uneasiness I feel piling up inside. Bad day? Yeah. Wanna come home? No. I don't want to come home now. If I go home, I'm just going to get even gloomier and I don't want to hinder Danny's time with Bobo with that. He probably needs to catch up on the work he missed for me too. I hear his wolf sigh. Okay, babe, what do you want to do then? What do I want? A face pops up in my mind immediately. I know exactly what I would really want, right now, but... Babe, go see him. I know you want to. I sigh. I love Danny, but sometimes he reads my mind way too easily and it's scary. And I know I shouldn't listen. I still can't come to a proper decision about Nate or Diego. Elena, you need this. So go for it. And you owe him an explanation, remember? He's too right. He makes me promise to call him later, and I start walking again, headed south. I don't know why I can't gather the courage to call Nate first. Playing with my phone in my pocket, I try to think of something to say while walking, but every time, it doesn't sound right, not after what happened last time. Nathaniel was adorable with me when I was unwell, but I had to leave so abruptly, and I didn't explain anything. How could I? I don't want him to know anything about my past or Diego. While walking, I suddenly get a chill. I stop, warned by my inner wolf instincts. Something's wrong. No, more like a threat, something at the back. Someone watching me. I turn around, trying to use my wolf's vision despite the downpour. But no one seems to be here. I wish I could smell something, but it's impossible with this rain. Why would someone follow me? Diego can't possibly be here already. So who? I start running. Will they follow me to the border? I can feel someone following me again, but they're staying far enough not to be spotted. It's all about instincts, and I can tell my wolf's annoyed by this little hide-and-seek game. Whoever it is, they won't show themselves. I keep going, trying to lose my pursuers across the streets, jumping over fences or abruptly changing directions and finally reach the Blood Moon territory's border. Seems like whoever it is, didn't dare to follow me. I adjust my hoodie on my head and keep walking. I originally decided to head straight for Nate's hotel where we meet the most, but while trying to lose whoever was following me, I went way off course. This isn't a part of the city I know very well. I really hope there won't be any troubles. I usually let him know before coming, but right now I'm behaving like an intruder. I keep going and try to correct my course, heading west. Some streets in the east are not the most welcoming, but there aren't many people to go there anyway. It's been a while since I had the guts to come here. We call it the slums for a reason. It's the riskiest place for humans and werewolves alike, with deserted, filthy streets and blind alleys. I'm confident in my strength, though I would have avoided that area if I could. Hopefully, even if I meet a few rogues, I should be strong enough to get out of there unscratched. I suddenly stop. My wolf is on all fours, growling, ready to defend herself. I can feel that alpha aura all the way here. I didn't expect to meet such a strong wolf here. What crappy luck! A shadow, dressed all in black, came almost out of nowhere and is walking slowly up my way. I can't see his face, he's wearing a dark hoodie too. Involuntarily, I take a step back. I am really scared. I can feel his aura, like an icy wind crawling all around him. It's almost as if I could see the beast before the man. My legs want to run away. I'm shivering, not because of the cold. Whoever it is, he's very, very angry, and restless. Someone looking for a fight. For blood. His pace is strangely slow for someone whose aura is going so wild. Like a hurricane behind the surface. My breathing fastens as he comes closer. I should run. Whoever it is, I might not be able to fight him. Who would be that strong? I'm frozen right where I am, and before I can make a decision, he's close. Dangerously close, maybe a few steps away. I look up, and suddenly I think I recognize the lower part of his face. Nate. Something feels wrong, though. When he raises his head to look at me, I gasp. He does look like Nate, a lot. But his eyes are silver, and his hair pitch black. Moon Goddess. It's not Nate. It's his brother. The King. Chapter 43. Why him? Why in the world would he be here, in the slums, alone? This is my first time meeting him, but there is no doubt. That man is way too scary and looks too much like Nate to be mistaken for anyone else. I try to remember his name. Damien Black. The elder brother, Alpha of the Blood Moon and allegedly Werewolf King of Silver City. No wonder everyone fears him, I can barely breathe in his presence. Among my pack, I should be among the strongest, but I feel like a defenseless pup in front of that guy. How come I never felt that in front of Nate? Is it because that guy is currently furious and displaying his alpha aura carelessly? Is Nathaniel usually holding back? I have 100 questions, but no idea what to do, how to react. His silver eyes are like daggers piercing me, cutting me open, like he's gauging me. I feel vulnerable. My inner wolf is torn between running away and fighting. Her instincts are messed up in front of a stronger alpha. This is not our territory, we have no advantage here. He comes closer, his eyes not leaving me a single second. For a second there, I have one thought. This guy will kill me. But right when he's almost at my position, a shadow jumps in between us. Someone grabs my arms, and I'm pushed back. Damien, she's with me. Nate. Nate just arrived, standing between his brother and I. He's holding me close, but his eyes are riveted on Damien. He doesn't seem scared, though. More like wary, and he's making sure to hide me as much as he can from his brother's sight. Is that her? Whispers his brother. His older brother has a gentler voice than I thought. I sense his murderous aura somehow calming down, and it gets a bit easier to breathe. But why is he asking this? What does that mean? They both stay silent for a few seconds, but I guess they are mind-linking. I wish I knew what the brothers were saying. A few seconds later, Nathaniel turns to me, and immediately puts his hands on my cheeks, looking worried. Elena, what are you doing here? Are you all right? Behind him, the king is already gone. I didn't hear him move at all, but we are definitely alone in this alley. Nate pushes my wet hair on my shoulder, and his fingers' touch makes me shiver. Gosh, it's only been a few hours and I missed him. Sorry, I wanted to come to see you, but someone was following me, and, what? Who was? He asks, looking behind my shoulder like he was looking for someone. I shake my head. I have no idea, but right now, I don't care. Unable to hold myself back, I step forward into his embrace, grabbing his shirt in my trembling fingers. I bury my face in his shoulder, and my tears start flowing, as if something had just broken inside to let them out. Elena, Nathaniel immediately hugs me back, and I feel his hand on my drenched hair. I just keep crying like a child, unable to hold back. I just needed this. Nate's arms, around me, shielding me from anything that's been making me crazy these days. We stay a long time like this, under the rain, and he doesn't even ask. He just holds me, for as long as I need. When my tears finally seem to stop a little, Nate takes my hand and guides me out of the slums. We walk a bit, in silence, still under that downpour. We are both literally soaked when we finally reach the building. I don't recognize it, and assume it's another one of his hotels. We stay against each other until we finally reach the entrance door. When Nate opens the door, with regular keys, I suddenly realize. This place, it's my apartment. Come. Surprised, I follow him inside. Actually, except for a few details, it feels like we could be in a hotel suite. The place is very clean, everything perfectly in order, and decorated with a modern taste. But there are shoes at the entrance, a few financial magazines on the table, and some personal items here and there. Elena, here. He guides me to the bathroom, where he fills the bathtub with hot water before undressing himself. I won't refuse a good bath, I'm cold to the bones. And that bathtub is big enough for 2, or even 3 people. Nate gets with a deep satisfied sigh. I abandon my clothes on the floor, perfectly aware that he is watching. Once I step in, and Nate guides me to sit in front of him, between his legs. I can finally relax, sitting with my back against his chest, his arms around me. This is what I've needed all along. His warmth. I close my eyes, indulging myself in this bliss. I feel Nate pouring some hot water on my shoulders, helping me warm up. His lips, too, fleeting on my neck. But his hands are the best. Caressing me gently, spreading his warmth on my skin. He kisses my temple gently, and I feel his breath next to my ear. Better? He asks softly. Much better. He kisses my shoulder again and locks his arms around my waist, while we stay like this in a long silence. I can finally let go of all those dark thoughts that have been clouding my mind these last few days. I don't want to think of anything, just savor this little taste of happiness for a while. His fingers gently brush my stomach, and I hear him breathing deeply like he's lost in his thoughts. I reach out for his hand, intertwining his fingers with mine. He hugs me a bit tighter. What were you doing there? You could have gotten killed, I told you, I just came to see you. I didn't expect to have to make such a detour. What about you? I didn't expect to meet the king this way. I was just accompanying him. Someone had spotted a stranger she-wolf in the slums. He checks every time, if it's his mate, I guess in a whisper. Nathaniel nods. I can barely imagine such devotion. It seems that no matter how scary the king is, nothing really matters to him but this mate he lost. I wonder what his mate would be like, to be a match for him. Someone so strong and scary. Would she be scary as well? What kind of she-wolf is a good pair, a good Luna? If only I had been Nate's pair. I've had this thought so often these days, it even scares me sometimes. Nate. I wanted to talk to you. About what? His voice indicates he suspected something. After all, I came all this way, under this shitty weather, totally unannounced and bawled out to him without warning. He picked up the emotional mess I am without question, but I should explain. My ex is coming back. I feel him freeze. His whole body is tensed up, and I give him a few seconds. Okay. And? He asks. And? I'm a mess because of that. How so? I look for my words, trying to think of a way to explain things to him, without getting into the worst of it. Nathaniel really doesn't need to know about all my and Moon Goddess, I hope he never does. Is it the one you mentioned? I know he remembers our conversation, the one I explained why I would never fall in love again. I slowly nod. I don't want to move, but I would be curious to see Nate's expression right now if he wasn't holding me tightly. Why is he coming back? My alpha had banned him for 5 years. I didn't think he would really come back. No one did. But he was spotted in the West, so there is no mistake. I shiver just while thinking about it. The idea of confronting Diego again, whatever he's become, is making me crazy. Elena. What did he do to you? I shake my head. I don't want to talk about it, and he knows that. I can feel his frustration, but there is no way I'm telling Nate. Moreover, I don't know what he would do if he did know, and that isn't good either. I don't want to implicate him any more than that into our pack's problems, and mine. But to my surprise, he doesn't ask again. Instead, he suddenly holds me tighter and kisses my neck's nape. It's not just sweet this time, it's more sensual. Posted by jobnib.com. I breathe in, Nate sucks and bites gently my skin, playing with it. I won't let him touch you, he suddenly whispers. What? I'm serious, Elena. If only he wasn't holding me so tight against him, I could see his expression, have an idea of what he's thinking. But I can only feel his mouth, attacking my skin restlessly, his hands caressing me and holding me close against him. I could have him banished forever. Or kill him. No. I suddenly free myself from his grip, and struggle to turn around and face him. I grab his face, as worried as I'm serious. I look straight into his blue eyes. Nathaniel, no. Please. Don't you ever get close to Diego. So he's named Diego. I growl, annoyed. That is so not the point. I can see the anger in his eyes, burning like fire under the ice. Thank Moon Goddess I haven't even told him anything. Nate, I'm very serious. I don't want you to get involved with him, okay? Please. Let me handle him. But Nate growls, not annoyed at me but the situation. To handle him? How? Elena, he's not even here and you're already freaking out. Whatever he did to you, it had to be big that he would get banned for 5 years from his pack. Actually, in my opinion, that sentence was too light. But that's not the point. I caress Nate's cheeks under my thumbs, hoping to keep him focused on me instead of Diego. Nate, no. This is my pack's issue, not yours. Don't worry about me, I'm strong enough, okay? Please, promise me you won't get involved. Nathaniel is still obviously angry, and very unwilling to answer. I can almost see his inner turmoil, but I wait, hoping he will listen. He cannot act rashly. He's the king's brother, for Moon Goddess' sake. Nate, promise me you won't get involved with him either. What? Elena, I'm not stupid. He did something big to you, and traumatized you somehow. I'm not. I want to protest, but Nate interrupts me. Yes, he did. Don't lie, not to me. I know enough already, Elena. And I swear to Moon Goddess, if that guy steps 1 foot on the Velvet Moon territory, I'll kill him. There's a lot of words stuck in my throat right now, but none can come out when Nate is angry and determined like this. So, instead, I lean in and kiss him. He doesn't answer at first, but he doesn't push me away either. I knew he wouldn't. I insist a bit, playing with my lips on his, biting a bit and insisting until he finally responds. Of course. My and Nate's kisses are way too familiar now. We fight a bit, his mouth eager for more, mine trying to tame him, and our tongues collide for something deeper. Moon Goddess, I know I'm cheating, but I want him, not a fight about my ex. I can handle Diego. But not without Nate. I need him to be there, where I know I can run like I did tonight. My refuge, my warm place to be on rainy days like this. Our kiss gets more intense, and so does my excitement. I want more, and I can feel his arousal as well. I straddle him, his hands running on my back, while I play with my fingers in his hair. The heat goes up, our bodies go down. My heart is thumping in my ears, and the rain against the window. I want more, always more. Chapter 44. She makes me crazy. The way she is both strong and fragile, how she tries to face everything head on until she bursts like today. I want to keep her close, protect her, make her mine and mine only. I already know how crazy attached I am to Elena already. I can't say it out loud, but I'm not that stupid not to recognize my own feelings. I want her, all of her, any time of day or night. When she's like this, in my arms, I still want more. Even now, as we are kissing deep and passionate, I'm already 2 steps ahead, wanting more. I caress her skin and her hair. Her honey skin, and that sweet smell she exudes even after the rain. Elena's excited voice is the best music to my ears. I press her against me, touching her to arouse her. I know her body by heart now. She knows it and she likes it. I push her to sit on the bathtub's border, and spread her legs, pleasuring her with my mouth. Nate, don't. Her words get lost in a moan. She likes it. I love seeing her blush whenever I do this, how she tries to hold her voice but trembles under my tongue. I keep going, making Elena cry out in pleasure, her fingers grabbing my hair. Nate. I want you. I want you now. I stop and carry her, taking her out of the bathroom to my bed. We are still wet, but I don't care. I push Elena on the bed, and she grabs my neck, pulling me to her as we kiss again. Our lips collide with each other like beasts. It's almost savage, we just want to kiss like crazy, excited as we are. We don't even stop as I slide in her, but I can feel Elena spasm around me. I can't stop. I want her so badly I keep pounding fast and make her cry out. A few hours later, night has fallen but we're still on the bed. Elena's deep asleep next to me, exhausted by our wild **X. It's been a while since we went so hard at it. I lean over and kiss her bare shoulder softly. I missed the scent of her skin. Watching her sleep, too. She looks so peaceful when she's sleeping like this. I opened the bay window, too, so the moonlight is shining on her skin and gold hair. Nate. My brother's cold voice resonates in my head, and I frown. Did you get him? No, whoever it was went back as soon as we started chasing. Liam is still inspecting the area. But it's she, not a he. Nate, do you know who that was? A female? Why would a woman follow Elena all the way here? She only mentioned her ex coming back, and aside from her mentor she mentioned a couple of times, I don't see any other woman from her pack who would have reason to sneak behind her all the way to our territory. No. But thanks. How long will she stay? I can't say, Damien. As long as she wants. Nate. Isaac told me. I don't trust that woman. You should. Damien, please. You said you would support me, and Elena needs me. I can hear his inner wolf, unhappy. I'm not listening to him now, he can scold me some other time if he wants. I ignore our mind link, and caress Elena's back gently. She suddenly shifts position, curling up against me. I can't help but chuckle. Only at times like this she dares to act clingy. Damien? Do you believe in second chances? Yes. I smile bitterly. Our situations couldn't be more different. Between him who lost his mate at a young age but still loves her tenderly, and I who was rejected coldly and won't hope for love anymore. Unless... I stare at Elena's sleeping expression again and wonder. Could we make it work somehow? It feels like we have so many reasons to stay apart, yet neither of us can. Our packs, our duties, our families, our history. I could make a full list and still not be able to say no to her. Have I met her before? I frown. Elena? Yeah. She felt familiar. I frown. How would Damien know about Elena? I don't think there should have been any chances for them to meet. Even when she would come to visit me on our territory, Damien is usually locked up in his building like a prisoner. How strange. Probably not. Never mind. Are you okay? He doesn't answer, ignoring me again. He does that way too often these days. Things are getting worse for him. I wish we would hurry up and find his mate already. I feel like we've scanned every inch of Silver City and nothing yet. Maybe Saturday's dinner at the Jade Moon will finally help. It's a small pack, but who knows? Unable to sleep, I decide to get up and grab a cigarette, careful not to wake Elena up. I go to the balcony and mind link Isaac, waking him up. Seriously, Nate? I can't even get some sleep? I need you to search someone for me. What? Who is the unlucky winner? A guy from the White Moon clan. His name's Diego. The White Moon clan? It wouldn't have to do with a certain blonde, by any chance? And why don't you just ask our little boy on anyway? He spends all his time there nowadays. I already asked him earlier. He doesn't know. Elena and her friend haven't told him a thing about the guy. He already felt bad about hiding the fact that he already knew about her and me. Poor kid. Seriously, playing the little spy for your love affairs. Well, I get he's head over heels for his guy, but still. How? Well. Diego, you said? Give me a minute. I finish my cigarette while Isaac's searching, watching Elena from across the window. But she is still asleep, with no idea I'm investigating her ex. After a long while and when I'm almost done with my cigarette, Isaac finally answers. Remember I said your woman had been to jail? That guy was the victim. Yeah, I figured so. What else? Apparently, it was pretty nasty. She stabbed him after a fight. They both ended up at one of the White Moon's clinics. He survived but was banned right after that. He's from entering Silver City until, that's in 2 weeks. I crush my cigarette. 2 weeks? Why was he the one banned if she stabbed him? I don't get it. I have my eyes on the police reports, but not the medical file, it's all in their clan's servers. Seriously Nate, your girl was sent to jail and he was banned. No matter what, their pack wanted those two to stay apart. Anything else? He's got a few more lines on his police file. Looks like the guy was a little street punk. A few robberies and other fights. Definitely an alpha. He was among the fighters back in their pack. Like Elena. Is that how they got close? 2 alpha, 2 fighters. Let me guess. You're going to see her again and do something stupid like fight her ex for her, huh? She's already with me. And she asked me not to meet with her ex, if you want to know. No wonder. I wouldn't want my ex's meeting either. Moon goddess, that would be a slaughter. Wait, you said she's with you? Aren't you at home though? I am. What? Nate. You never bring a woman to your place. Not even Narcissa came there, and I'm pretty sure she tried hard. I roll my eyes. If he could stop mentioning my relationship with Narcissa every time. She's already harassing me enough as it is those days. Ever since I started seeing Elena, Narcissa's been waiting for me to call her back, thinking I would miss her soon. Turns out I don't. She saw me with Elena a couple of times at the club and probably didn't like it. 2 weeks. Elena's ex will be back in 2 little weeks. For the next few days, Elena sleeps at my place every night. It's a routine I quickly get addicted to. She didn't ask anything, I just keep inviting her over. We don't mention her ex anymore, and I can't tell if she's avoiding the issue or just not discussing it with me. As a few days pass, I wonder if she isn't just avoiding her pack. She fought with her mentor, and her alpha too. Towards me, however, her attitude is incredibly honest. We eat and sleep together as lovers would. It's just as if we were avoiding the words. But we kiss, cuddle, laugh together and play. It's incredibly good. I don't remember feeling this happy and light in forever. Only Saturday, I leave her alone to accompany Liam to the Jade Moon territory. It's a boring dinner, except for the food wonderfully cooked, which is quite surprising there. But as that dinner goes on, I start to miss Elena and fight to hide my irritation. I haven't seen her all day, she was busy with her homework and training. Even Liam is in a bad mood, bored with the clingy attitude of that small pack towards us, the King's brothers. When we get back in the car, I check my phone. Elena's been ignoring my texts all afternoon. What's going on? When I finally split up with Liam and get home, I'm surprised to find her in the living room, waiting for me fully dressed. She's wearing an old oversized hoodie and jeans, looking ready to go. I take off my tie and walk up to her, wary. I know when she's unhappy, but I have no idea why. Elena. We need to talk, she suddenly says with a low voice. Talk about what? Nate, I won't be coming back here. I frown. What is that supposed to mean? I didn't think she had anything against my flat. And then I understand. It's not really about my place. I feel my heart dropping, and step forward. What do you mean exactly? She crosses her arms, looking everywhere but my direction. I can't come back to the Velvet Moon, Nate. I think we should stop seeing each other. Why? I just don't get it. Everything was fine just this morning. Elena shakes her head, and takes a deep breath in. Nate, I shouldn't be here in the first place and we both know it. And things have been going a bit too far these days. It's not what we had agreed on. Is that what it is? You're afraid of what we're having nowadays? Are you scared of my brother, or your pack? It's not about any of this, Nate. It's about us, about me. You remember, when we first talked? You said you wanted one night. After that, we said it would be a simple relationship, no feelings involved. I also said we would play by your rules, Elena. That you got to decide, that's right. And right now, I decide, we should end this now before it gets too far. For the two of us. I shake my head, unable to understand what the heck is going on. But all of a sudden, she takes out a folder and throws it on the table. I immediately recognize it. That's the one Isaac brought me last week, with her and her ex's criminal records. Elena, that's not, I don't give a, Nate. You had me investigated. I'm pretty sure you are using Boyan and Daniel, too. I don't care about your reasons, this is not what I wanted. I grab the folder and throw it in the trash bin, even if it's way too late. When I walk back to her, Elena's expression is already too serious and determined. I don't like that at all. Elena, I didn't want this. Damien and Isaac, Nate, that's exactly the problem. Even if you don't want to, your whole pack is going to say no to me. And I don't want to fight with my pack for that reason either. I don't want a relationship where we have to investigate each other, sneak into each other's place in private or hide to call each other. That's how our relationship is, Elena. I decided I don't care whatever everyone else thinks about me being with you. I don't want a relationship, Nate. I am not ready for that. My ex is coming back and this is going to be a hell of a mess already. I don't want to have to deal with you and your surveillance too. I don't want to deal with your brothers, your beta, your exes. What exes? Why would she mention an ex of mine? Except for Catherine, I never mentioned any other woman to her, as far as I recall. But Elena ignores my question. Listen, I didn't want to bring it like this, okay? I need to work on one problem at a time. So I'm a problem now? And behind your ex, too? I ask, getting seriously angry. Don't start, Nate. Maybe we'll see each other again, when I'm done dealing with Diego. Oh, and I'm supposed to wait like a good boy for you to decide? What am I, a backup plan? I thought we had something serious going on. You know it. She glares at me, annoyed. I thought we had honesty between each other, Nate. Honesty? You never talk to me. I have a past, and you knew that. I was honest when I at least told you that, and why I wouldn't want to get serious. Aren't you the one who was being dishonest? How long have you had me investigated? How long have you broken our promise? Our promise? Those words hit me like a punch, right where it hurts. We had promised not to fall in love. When did I start falling for her, anyway? I wasn't ready for that at all. I look for something to answer, quick. I didn't. You don't love me? She asks, way too bluntly. No. That's a lie. And I can see it in her eyes. She knows. We are just both way too selfish and angry to admit it first. Fine. I guess we're good then. She said that with a voice hoarse enough to break my heart. I can't think of anything to say. She just leaves my place like that. Chapter 45. As agreed, Daniel is already waiting for me at the border. I get in the car and leave out a big sigh. My best friend turns to me, worried. Are you sure? I did what I had to, Danny. This is more important for now. I take out the letter I received this morning. Just a simple card, with a question. But this is Diego's handwriting, no doubt. That bastard just sent me a missed me. I crumple it between my fingers. I don't even have the words for how much I hate him. Why didn't you just tell him? Asks Danny while starting the car. But I shake my head. I already took my decision this morning. This past week with Nate was heaven. I lived without worries, with the best lover one could hope to wake up next to, every morning. I could have gotten seriously used to that, and easily too. But the longer I stayed, the more I felt like I was running away. From my pack, and my problems. I avoided Xavier, Reagan, even Clark, and Isabella. I avoided the days passing and Diego's returning coming closer. Being with Nate was like a dream I didn't want to wake up from. Diego's message was a brutal reminder. I have no idea how he knew where to send it to, or what was his aim. But it was a shock to me. No matter what, Diego was coming after me. And I didn't want to involve Nate in that. I still think this isn't good, babe. To leave like that, Nathaniel would never have stopped at that. He already asked me twice if I wanted him to ban or kill Diego, Danny. I know he would break the rules of both his pack and mine and I can't let him do that for me. He's the king's brother, his position is too important to do that. But still. To have a dispute, that was all I could think of for him to let me go. Thank Moon Goddess I found this stupid folder this morning, it helped me come with an excuse. To be honest, I didn't find it by accident. I was looking for something that would make our fight a bit more genuine, but I didn't expect Nathaniel to keep a whole file on me and Diego. I still can't believe he knew I went to jail and didn't say anything about it. How long did he know? He kept this. Does that mean he doesn't care about living with a criminal? About the ghosts of my past? The more time I spent with Nate, the more I became obvious to me, we were moving on to a new relationship, something that couldn't be seen as no feelings involved anymore. We kissed a lot for no reason, cuddled whenever we felt like it, did pretty much everything together during every night this week. Even the S*X was much sweeter and romantic, despite our carnal desire for each other. If it wasn't for Diego, maybe I would have given us a chance. Listened to our whims, and stayed longer at Nate's place. Maybe a few more days, and we would have become lovers without saying it. He said he doesn't love me. Well, the guy is either completely blind or very stubborn, replies Danny while turning left. I chuckle. I know Nate was lying. He said what he thought would hold me back. Because that was the rule we had agreed on from the start. But Moon Goddess, it's too late, way too late. I fell for that man, hard. For his kindness, his disarming honesty and smiles, his gentle, electric blue eyes. The way he doesn't hesitate to caress or hug me, or how he kisses me softly. I already miss him. I think about our argument again. What will he think? I didn't leave him much room to speak on purpose, that was hard enough for me already. But even so, Nate still tried to hold me back, and that broke my heart. Because truth is, I didn't want to leave him or make him think I wanted to. If things have been different, I would have trusted him a lot more than that, enough to confide in him about my past and let him back me up against my ex. I couldn't. Everything is too fresh for our relationship, and I'm scared that Diego will shatter it all before I can do anything. I'm too afraid. I could lose Nate because of our own feelings, but if something happened to him because of my ex. Daniel finally parks the car at our home an hour later. We stopped by the hospital to give flowers to my dad, but it's pretty late now, and I'm exhausted. What about Bobo? I ask as Daniel opens the door. Too busy. I think his brother is giving him more work to keep him away from our territory. For some reason, our flat feels pretty lonely now. I miss Nate already. I change into my nightgown and curl up in my bed. I haven't slept here in a while. Has my room always been this cold and silent? I close my eyes, hoping everything will be fine. Between Nate and me, and tomorrow, too. Tomorrow, the cursed day Diego is allowed back on her turf. I spend all night rumbling about that. How to behave, what to say, how can I ignore that bastard? The next morning, when I get up, very early, I have a simple strategy in mind. It's Sunday, and for once, I'm up before Danny. Hence, he is shocked to find me making coffee when he leaves his room about half an hour later. Someone fell out of her bed, he whistles. More like I didn't sleep a wink, I sigh. Bad thoughts. I nod with a frown. Daniel sighs before taking a cup for himself. What's the battle plan? There isn't one, Danny. I've decided, I don't care about this jerk. I don't want anything to do with him, I'm done. He can do whatever he wants as long as he stays away from me. Daniel stays silent for a few seconds and eventually comes to sit next to me on the couch. You know it's not going to be this easy, right babe? I know, but I'm not going to give in. I'm over whatever happened, Daniel, and that's what I will stick to until he understands. I don't want him back in my life. He better stay away, because I'm not going back to jail. My best friend sigh, and brushes my hair with his fingers gently. All right, you're the boss. Ignore the jackass until he gets bored. I bet Clark will give orders for the others to try and keep you two apart anyway. Okay, do you want some jam? Bonnie made some mean apricot jam. I laugh and nod. Like any Sunday, Danny and I have breakfast together, chatting about our week with our respective lovers. To be honest, I feel like we haven't seen each other in forever, and it's good to spend time just the two of us. I'm happy to hear his relationship with Bobo is going smoothly, despite the hardships that come from being from different packs. Seems like neither of them has talked to anyone else about this, not even their siblings. I remember Bobo's sister from the dinner, Tanya, and his older brother who is the king's beta. Such an important member of their pack. You think Levi knows? I ask, eating a bite of my bread. I bet he's too smart not to have caught on something. He is always behind your back already, would be funny if he let me be. He argued a lot with Clark about Diego, you know. Those two better not meet either. I don't want to have Levi involved too, his overprotective brother would definitely take my side and still hate Diego for what happened back then. Daniel licks the jam off his fingers, frowning a bit. He will get involved. You know Levi. Aside from being a beta to the bone, he definitely has some feelings for you. Oh, shut up Danny, I am not talking about that. As you wish, I am not blind about Levi's feelings for me, but I've definitely become good at pretending. I already have enough to deal with in the love area nowadays. I finish my breakfast and head to the bathroom first, changing into a comfortable workout outfit, leggings, and an oversized crop top. That's one hot babe ready to do some punching. Come with me Danny, you need to exercise sometime. He growls a bit. Are you hinting at something? Yes, you're getting skinnier and losing muscles. Now get up and come train with me. I need someone who can keep up. Daniel rolls his eyes but takes the rest of the breakfast dishes to the kitchen. Oh well, I guess it can't hurt from time to time. Indeed, 2 hours later, we are just done with the first round. Daniel is now growling at me, annoyed. Maybe because I won another match, the 6th in a row. I try to play innocent while grabbing some water. You agreed to train with me, babe, I remind him. I agreed to training, not a beating, you brute. Look at that. Seriously, babe, I'm going to have bruises all over. Bruises are not at all, Whitewood. I laugh a bit while he's still examining himself. Even if he complains, Daniel is a decent fighter. He may not be a match with me, but having me or Levi as his training partners have definitely shaped a good fighter out of him. I'm kind of proud. Come on, babe, one more round. You can have more rounds with the boxing sack, I'm done with you kicking me for today. You're scrawny, my perfect, if you want to ask my handsome and adorable boyfriend. There he goes, bragging about boy on again. At least he's not complaining anymore. I let him keep talking while I drink more water and go grab a towel, wiping off my sweat. A good sparring does make me feel a lot better. I had been lazy about the training these days, but if I'm not seeing Nate anymore, I can probably focus on something else. I check my phone, but nothing from him. Of course. He probably is still mad, or at least perplexed by our dispute from last night. No matter what, I hope this will be over soon, and I can go back to him. I may be a bit shameless to hope Nate will be that patient with me, but I somewhat believe he will be. I know what we had together was fucking good and real. Elena. I turn to Daniel, wondering what he wants to call me by my name all of sudden, but his eyes are set on the dojo's entrance. My wolf instantly starts growling. Standing nonchalantly at the door, a tall silhouette with arms crossed is staring right at us with a smile. I would recognize it any time. It's been 5 years. He has barely changed. His black hair, dark skin. The way he moves like a predator. He has a new scar on his face, across his left cheek, and a large tribal tattoo I had never seen before on his torso. He's only wearing ragged jeans, walking barefooted on the tatami. Daniel moves to stand between him and me, but I gently hold my best friend. I don't care if he comes close. Diego walks up to us with an annoying smirk stuck on his face. Moon Goddess, how in the world did I ever fall for such a jerk like him? When he's a few steps away, he smiles at me, like a good guy. Te extrain, mi amor. I smile back to him, without a hint of happiness in my eyes. I didn't f**k off, Diego. Chapter 46. No matter how much you prepare yourself, I guess you can't do much against your worst nightmare. Strangely, the reality is very different from the mess I had imagined. I didn't think I could stay so composed or even stand to be in the same room as him. I thought maybe I would go insane, scream or jump at him to kill him. But I don't feel any of that right now. Seeing my ex standing up in front of me, smiling at me as if nothing had happened, disgusts me, and my wolf is growling loudly too, but there isn't much more. I realize it now. I'm furious at him, and Moon Goddess, I still hate him to the core. But some of that hate has been subdued and forgotten by now. I am now the same helpless, idiotic teenager girl I was back then. I'm older. I have moved on. I found a new love. Diego hasn't. I turn around to ignore him and signal Daniel I want us to spar again. My best friend understands, and we exchange a few hits. Honestly, I knew it wouldn't be enough to drive Diego away. Instead, he stays on the side of the ring. What? I don't even get a welcome kiss. I ignore him. Daniel throws a punch at me, and I manage to avoid it, sending back an uppercut. He growls a bit and kicks back. Maybe because of Diego's presence, Danny is angry and his punches are fiercer. Elena, I'm talking to you. Well, I don't give a. I keep ignore him, even after he calls me one more time. I focus on my fight with Danny instead, and my best friend manages to keep me busy for a while. That is, until Diego jumps on the ring to get in between us, dangerously close to me. I step back, a reflex. My wolf is furious. She doesn't want him near us, not after what he did to our baby. I said, I am talking to you, he growls. And I said F**k. Off. I repeated that slowly, glaring right at him, showing him he doesn't have any right to order me around. He frowns, visibly a bit surprised. Seriously, what in the world did he expect? For me to be happy about his return? Really? After all that *T I went through, 5 years ago? 5 years without seeing me, and that's what I get, F**k off, really? Estás enojado conmigo, amor? Last time, Diego. You get off my ring and my dojo, I warn him. He seems shocked to see me standing my ground. I'm proud of myself. I don't even let him see how angry I really am, and stand my ground without fail. Even I didn't think I could control my emotions so well. Diego seems to hesitate a bit and takes a few steps back, slowly. I can tell he is reevaluating me, changing his attitude upon seeing my reactions. We are not done talking, he growls. I watch him go without answering, but I make sure to glare his way and let my wolf growl all her might until he's out of sight. As soon as he's exited the dojo, I take a deep breath again. What a son of a. Are you okay, babe? I don't think I've ever felt your alpha aura being so scary. If you were growling after me, I swear my pants wouldn't be dry right now. I chuckle. Only Danny can say jokes at times like these. I sigh and rest my arms on the ropes of the ring, gazing towards the direction Diego went. Around us, the few people around us who listened are sending glances my way, but I ignore them to talk to Daniel. He's going to be pissed now. You think? I'm sure. He will be mad I ignored him, that the worst for him. I made him understand he won't be able to control me like before, he will not like it, whatever. If he's unhappy, his problem. Come on, I'm done getting me kicked by you, babe. Lunch is on me today. I wish it was that easy. I know Diego won't let it slide. Nevertheless, I grab my bag and follow Daniel. Just as we exit the gym, my cousin Iris suddenly walks up to us. Elena. I'm so sorry I couldn't let you know earlier, Diego is back, she says, out of breath. I know, Iris. He was there just a minute ago. But don't worry, I'm fine. Really? I really asked Dad to not let him back into the pack, you know, but, I'm really fine, Iris. Xavier can decide whatever he wants, I reply. Come on, sweetheart, we were about to go get lunch. Are you joining us? Asks Daniel with a smile. Sure. Should I call Chris too? It's been a while since I ate with my cousins. For some reason, I never got very close to them. Maybe because their dad never came to like me. However, Iris is only a few months younger than me, and Chris loves training with me. They join Daniel and me for lunch, and we decide to go to George's Cafe. Because of their Sunday brunch menu, the place is crowded that day, and we have to wait at the entrance for a table to get emptied. Danny. Elena. We turn heads. Across the restaurant, Levi is waving at us. He is at a large table with 3 other guys from the pack, including Orpheus. Danny gives me a little poke. Here's our entrance ticket. Come on, Iris, Chris. We skip the line to join their table, and Daniel's older brother and his friends welcome us with a big smile. I guess we had the same idea. That's the only place who is almost as good as Mom's brunch, says Daniel. Hi, Elena, princess. Orpheus gives me a hug, and the 2 other guys, Jace and Kenton, salute me too before welcoming my cousins. They scoot over a bit on the leather bench and find a couple more chairs so we can sit all together. We just ordered, too. Says Jace. You can just add whatever you want, Orpheus is buying lunch today. Seriously? What bet did you lose? Asks Chris with a smirk. But Orpheus blushes a bit and refuses to answer, so Jace does it in his stead. He bet he could beat Eric. You should have bet on hunting instead, sighs Daniel. Eric is good at fighting but he's too clumsy to hunt anything, I thought this time I could do it. Insists Orpheus. No one can beat Eric, aside from Elena, you dummy. I'll beat him soon. Exclaims Chris, full of confidence. I chuckle and ruffle his hair a bit. You need a bit more muscle and training before that happens, kid. At this rhythm, Xavier will pick Elena as his heir before that happens, says Jace with a smirk. Oh. Hey, babe. By reflex, I prevent myself from turning to Daniel and act normal. What? Look at Iris. I follow Daniel's little chin movement to look at my cousin Iris, sitting next to Levi. She is glaring at Jace, looking pissed. Is it because he's making fun of her little brother? I didn't think she would get mad for such a lousy joke. Jace notices too and stops laughing. Sorry, I was just kidding, hat. Come on, I'll pay for the drinks. Iris being an alpha too, he probably didn't stand being glared at. But she soon calms down and sighs. That's fine. I smile a bit. I forgot Iris is always a bit uptight about the pack's rules. The guys move on to discussing the last fights who happened within the pack, joking about who is making progress or not. Meanwhile, George spots us and comes to take our orders, adding a free extra for Daniel. Those two are super close after all. When he leaves, Jace turns to me. By the way, Elena, I heard Diego's back. He immediately gets a lot of glares and goes white. I sigh. Yes, he is. I can't believe Xavier let this back in, growls Orpheus. It's a difficult situation. He belongs to our pack, and is a good fighter too, says Iris, trying to defend her father's decision. Come on, Iris, don't defend him. Everyone knows what he was to Elena, growls her brother. But, Elena, if you're looking for a new boyfriend just to piss him off, I'm available, says Jace with a little wink. Daniel rolls his eyes. Moon goddess, Jace, that is so uncalled for, dude. Get off your horses a little, will ya? Theirs is a whole line to get to dating my babe, and you're at the bottom. The very bottom, Jace. I don't wanna get anywhere near your bottom, Danny, mumbles Jace. Levi and Orpheus, who are sitting on each side of that immediately sk him behind the head with the same movement. Ouchie! What, guys? Thank you, says Daniel with a satisfied smile. Iris and I laugh, almost spurting out our coffees. Jace is a funny one. Levi growls at him when he protests again, putting an end to his childishness. But seriously, Elena, we got your back, says Orpheus to me. I smile at him. Thanks. They all give me some word or gesture to say they are on my side no matter what. I wish things had been this way back then. But truth is, no one knew exactly what was going on between Diego and I. Like Danny and I, Diego was some sort of pariah among the White Moon pack. His father was always on bad terms with the Alpha, and training his son to become always stronger. Diego had a rough, violent upbringing. His father justified anything with the werewolf condition, in an old-fashioned way of thinking. As an alpha, they had to be strong. To be tough. Not show his weaknesses. But Diego did end up showing his one weakness, me. I was the only girl he got along with, the only one he really liked. We fell in love like any couple of teens who hang out together every day, for years. We had grown up together. There wasn't anything we hid from one another, the same with Danny. I was his best friend, his accomplice for anything. He was my teenage crush, as well as my rival. We fought a lot. Because we were alphas, we fought seriously every time. But as I learned later, being an alpha doesn't justify violence. Diego didn't learn that. He fought with anyone in the pack, weaker or stronger than him. And there weren't many people who could stand up to him aside from me. As the years went by, his tendency to violence got worse. He injured several people of the pack under the pretense of serious training, including Danny. The Alpha got mad, but me, I would always try to find him excuses. Even if I knew something was wrong with him, I wanted to think he could change, that I could help him change for the better. I believed it so strongly I even ignored the warning of the people who were close to me and knew what kind of man he was. I was in love, blindly, and I didn't know it yet. Elena, babe. I get back to reality when Danny puts his hand on my knee. Sorry, Danny, you were saying. Your phone. It's vibrating in your bag. You might want to check it. I almost jumped down to grab the bag at my feet, and take out my phone. It's a text from Nate. I smile but then worry. Is he mad about yesterday? What is this about? Did he believe me? Or not? I'm not sure what I want. I mumble some excuse about going to the bathroom and take my phone with me. Danny gives me a little wink. I take a deep breath in the unisex restroom and open up Nate's text. Chapter 47. Man, you're pathetic. I glare at Isaac. Did he really have to mention it now? The pitiful look he's addressing at me is not helping at all either. I sigh and throw my smartphone on my desk, pissed. Elena still hasn't replied, and it's been days now. Is she playing dead? Really, that's all I deserve? Isaac puts down an annoying pile of folders on my desk. Seriously, Nate, it's been 3 days, snap out of it. I can't work if you can't work, and guess if this goes on, what is your brother going for? Neil's. Mine. Mine, Nate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against some once in a while, but the boss is so not my fancy. Everything is good to use for a joke for Isaac, and though most of the times it amuses me, it's not the case today. I can't stop thinking about my fight with Elena, and it's annoying, too. Something felt wrong about it, all the way. Seriously, Nate, get over it. That girl has issues, all right? So let her deal with whatever she has to deal with in her pack and go on with your life. I get you liked her a lot, but I really can't stand you acting all moody and grumpy all day long anymore. I am not, yes, you are acting all moody. So I don't know, have a cigarette, a drink, even lay the secretary or whatever, but just get over it, man. Those files are not going to review themselves, and I can't have all the company on pause just because you had a fight with your girl. Isaac leaves, and I'm left with those stupid folders piling up on my desk. He's right, I've been completely out of it since last Saturday. I just keep replaying my argument with Elena in my head, again and again, as if I was missing something from the big picture. Every one of her points was valid. About our relationship. All the reasons we had not to be together. That stupid file she had found. I know we should have brought up these issues sooner, but we had avoided them all along. Until it came around to punch right where it hurts. A ping on my computer. A note of my secretary to remind me of a meeting coming up in 5 minutes. Right, we are meeting with that little company. I check my suit and head downstairs. Damien is already sitting in the conference room and looks at me when I come in. Liam's high school called me. Again. It's only Tuesday and he is already ditching his classes. I sigh. All right, I'll do it. Damien's sudden tone takes me by surprise. What is that supposed to mean? He usually has me handling Liam and only steps in when needed. But my brother doesn't add anything else and gets absorbed in the contract the secretaries put in front of us. The little agency team introduce themselves and start their presentation, so I can't ask either. They are not bad, but as expected, they are still amateurs and need a little push. The meeting ends quickly, as we had pretty much decided we would collaborate with them anyway, and Damien has another one right after. My brother leaves after only exchanging a couple of sentences with them, cold as usual. I stay behind a little bit, talking to their representative, an assertive young woman. She is a cute and bright brunette, with dark skin and olive eyes, but not my type. Thank you so much for having us today, M. Black. It's so thrilling to be able to present here, as a small startup. We will definitely learn from the experience. You're welcome, we are genuinely interested in your software. Our financial and legal teams will reach out to you soon to complete the last details. Right. They mentioned we will need to reach out to your HR representative, too, as we might move in one of the offices here. Do you need a new office? I ask. She nods, a bit embarrassed. To be honest, we don't have a proper office to speak. Our team is very young and we have only worked in cafes or remotely so far. I have been trying to reach out to Mr. Graves about that but with no luck so far. I frown. That's odd coming from Isaac. Do you have a few minutes? His office is right upstairs. I can accompany you there if you wish. Her eyes suddenly lighten up. Really? That would definitely help us. I guide her upstairs, and she enthusiastically talks to me about their debuts, when she gathered friends for university. She is definitely the stubborn and optimistic type, quite likable to be honest. As a human, she is not intimidated by me or my aura and speaks freely too. When we finally reach Isaac's office, I knock, and his secretary frowns a bit when seeing the young lady in a striped jumpsuit and wedges next to me. Excuse me, M. Black, what is this about? Miss Parker needs to see Isaac. Is he busy? I'm sorry, but this young miss has been sending a lot of emails, but I don't think her agency is worth considering. I frown. What? Miss Parker's agency just got an agreement with us today. Do you have something to say about my brother's choice regarding whom we should work with or not? I growl, annoyed. Who is she to decide who can reach out to us or not? Even if they are a small group fresh out of college, she can't just treat them like pests. The secretary shuts up and opens the door for us, avoiding my glare. Nevertheless, the young Miss Parker smiles to her. Thank you. I don't know if this is meant to be condescending or not, but I won't comment. We step into Isaac's office, who has his nose into his computer. Nate, the meeting is already over? Did you get? He freezes when raising his head. What? He stays like a statue for a long, embarrassing minute, his mouth still open. It's like his brain just shut down once he saw the young woman accompanying me. Really? Now? Miss Parker walks forward and smiles to him, completely unaware of my friend's totally stupid reaction. Good morning. Sorry for disturbing you all of a sudden, but M. Black was nice enough to accompany me here since I failed to get in contact to you sooner. Really? He stutters. Moon Goddess, get a grip, Isaac, it's not the first time you've seen a pretty girl. Next to me, Miss Parker keeps going. Yes, I think my emails never went through. Anyway, do you have a minute? I really needed a few minutes of your time, or we could reschedule if you are busy. Hey. Yes. Yes, reschedule. I mean rescheduling is great. No, good, only good. Not great. I mean, not that it wouldn't be great, but, hey, good is enough. This is getting seriously embarrassing to watch. What happened to my Casanova of a best friend? He tries to take his calendar, drops it on the floor, catches it and turns the pages as if he was looking for something next year. Oh, Moon Goddess! I close my eyes, unable to watch this any longer. Is next Thursday fine for you? Asks the young brunette. I'm free all afternoon. Yes. Exclaims Isaac, a bit too loud. Thursday afternoon. Perfect. Let's do that. Next Thursday. The afternoon. Perfect. Man, you're seriously embarrassing yourself right now. But he ignores me, keeping on a stupid, awkward smile all along, his eyes riveted on her. Great. Here is my business card, and I will email you later to fix the hour. Isaac immediately reaches out his hand to grab his business cards and hand it to her. It was almost fine until he actually handed her the whole pile. Thank Moon Goddess, that girl is an angel, and chuckles gently, only taking one as if he wasn't making a fool of himself. Thank you. Then, I won't disturb you any longer and email you later. Thank you very much for having me today. She bids both of us goodbye and walks out by herself. As soon as the door closes behind her, I hear a big ruckus. Isaac just fell off his chair. I look over his desk at that imbecile laying on his office's floor. Seriously, I wish I could have filmed this, Isaac. Man, my heart is going crazy. I swear, Nate, my brain's hyperventilating right now. I sigh. I knew it. Fated mate. Yes. What? Why didn't you tell me it was like this? I feel like I got hit by a truck. Or lightning. Or both. Congratulations, I guess. She's human, though, so you're going to be alone on that, man. He looks like he's about to cry. Why do I have to have it the hard way? Gosh. And she's so adorably cute. Man, I'm such a jackass. She won't love me, right? I'm doomed. Have you seen her cheeks? I want to touch her little cheeks. Her chocolate skin too. And you know I love chocolate. Hey, I'm going to die. He's just exhausting. I let him rumble for a while, even if he probably never gets tired of chattering. You need a drink, Isaac. What? Yeah. Maybe. Can we go drink? We still got work, so finish whatever you have to do and meet me downstairs. And let your secretary handle the emails with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, right? Man, so cute. Wait, I don't know her first name. How do I? You got her business card. He seems to realize he's had it in his hand all along and looks at it. A bright smile appears on his face. Leah? Her name's Leah. Great, very cute. Now I'm confiscating this until you're done with your work, I say, grabbing the business card from his hand. I sigh and leave his office, giving the card to his secretary on my way out. No way he will get anything done this afternoon, but let's at least pretend. Later that day, as promised, I take Isaac to drink. It's not fun. He spends 3 hours reflecting on all his past relationships, thinking of how much he's been with girls now that he met his mate. It's pathetic to watch, so I wait until he gets drunk and funnier. He does get drunk, but not funny. His next topic is describing everything he recalls about his fated mate, Leah, and I have to listen to it. I'm happy for him, but I already miss the old Isaac who would convince me to have fun, play, drink, and charm girls. Nate. Liam. I suddenly jump, wide awake in a split second. What? Damien's voice is bursting in my head, his wolf so loud I feel like he'll slice my brain open. Not only us, but he's also calling everyone in our pack. Find her. Now. Find her. I almost fall off the bed, as if Damien had kicked all of us out. I don't know what's going on. I stumble to get up and run out to the corridor, only wearing my boxers. And that hangover. Liam. Yeah, I'm on it. I run out of the apartment. Damien is still yelling after everyone, his panicked voice is making us crazy. So many people are mind-linking at the same time, it's a hurricane in there. I try to focus on my younger brother's voice, like one voice inside of the throng. I exit the building and shape-shift in a jump. It's a downpour outside. I'm soaked in a matter of seconds. I can hear people and wolves running down the streets all around. It can only be our packs, to be out in such shitty weather so late. Damien really woke up the full clan. I start running too, headed anywhere in the streets. We don't even know where to look. Boyan's got something. It's Tanya's voice, Neil, and Boyan's sister. It's coming from the east. I was running in a similar direction, and accelerate. Liam's voice resonates in my head, trying to cover our brother's yells. Really? He's got something? I'm the opposite direction. I'm almost there. Keep looking in case he's wrong. What the? Boyan, get him. I hear Tanya yelling all of a sudden, not only in my head but with my ears as well. They are near. Damien's panicked voice comes back. Where is she? Did you find her? Tell me you found her. I ignore him and run towards Tanya's voice. I finally find the Mura sister, alone in a deserted alley. She is in her human form, on her knees, leaning over what looks like a body. Oh! Tanya! Nate, she's breathing. I approach and finally see the girl lying unconscious on the asphalt. Her dark hair is covering a bit of her face, but she looks very young and thin. There's a scar on her eye, too. She is soaked with rain and blood. 48. Stop staring at it, I blush. Daniel caught me reading Nate's text again. I try to put back my phone, but Ben grabs it before I do. Elena's got a boyfriend. He suddenly asks, give that back. I yell, annoyed. I try to climb over the couch to get my smartphone back, but Daniel decides to team up with his brother and holds me back, long enough for Ben to throw it at Bonnie. This is so cute. Text from Nate, I'm sorry we fought. Can we talk? I miss you, she reads. Bonnie. I protest. Come on, even her betrays them to GG up with her brothers? But she smiles and gives it back to me. Of course, now that everyone's heard the content. The Lewis twins each take a seat next to me, Bonnie grabbing the popcorn bowl and Ben annoying me to no end with his questions. Who is Nate? Your boyfriend? Ex-boyfriend? Crush? Potential boyfriend? Daniel is laughing behind his little brother's back. Can't he help me out of this? When I followed him for a movie night at their family house, I didn't think I would fall into a trap about who's going to gossip more about my private life. Their father laughs, sitting in his armchair next to us. Ben, enough. It's Elena's private life, don't put your nose into it. The twins laugh a bit, but eventually, the conversation changes to who will have the final word about which movie we will watch. I sigh and scoot over to get next to Daniel, pinching him as revenge. He squeals. That wasn't necessary. You deserve it, you traitor. All right, sorry. But you've been glued to your phone, girl. Just text him if you miss him that much already. I sigh. You know I can't, Daniel, he rolls his eyes. Yeah, whatever. Half an hour later, Bonnie got the last word and we are watching some catchy sci-fi movie, something pretty interesting with spies and con mans. It's interesting, but the female lead is seriously annoying, and Ben and Danny keep arguing about the actress. Suddenly, Joseph jumps up, surprising all of us. Ben even dropped his soda on the couch. What the heck, Dad? But Joseph stays standing up, frowning, as if something was bothering him. I understand right away he's mind-linking. His eyes turn to me several times, frowning, and I immediately get a hunch of what this is about. Is it Diego? I ask, worried. Yeah. He's fighting Eric and Jace. I grab my jacket and prepare to follow Joe, but Danny suddenly grabs my arm. Babe, you really shouldn't go. I hesitate for a second. I know I shouldn't. I really shouldn't get involved in anything Diego is involved in. I spent the 3 last days avoiding him, brushing him off and ignoring him, and it wasn't easy. He almost fought with Levi yesterday, just because I refused to answer when he talked to me at the PAX reunion. But Daniel, if he injures them, I won't forgive myself for it. Danny spurts out a profanity I really don't hear often in his mouth and comes after us. The twins are about to come too, but their father orders them not to. We run outside, all 3 of us shape-shifting right away in our wolf forms. That guy. He hasn't been back for a week and he's already messing with others. Joe guides us all the way to another street, actually pretty close to where we were. When we arrive, there's already a crowd around the fight. We have to growl our way in until I can see the scene. A dark gray and a brown wolf are fighting, all claws and fangs out. It's a mess, there are fur and blood flying. I immediately recognize Eric's dark gray wolf, covered in blood. He is fighting angrily, growling and standing his ground. The other wolf, however, barely has any injuries, but its maw is covered in blood. When he is about to attack again, I instantly jump in and growl furiously. He stops his attack, stumbling to the side. My wolf warns him in an outraged growl. Don't you touch him! Elena! He steps forward, but I growl even louder. Get away! He stays near, though, walking left and right as if there was a perimeter around me he couldn't approach. Joe, in a dark brown ray of fur, suddenly gets in between us two, growling at Diego too. But Joseph is a beta, and Diego isn't afraid to growl back. I feel Daniel's father trying hard to stand his ground, but I know how strong Diego is. I step in front of him and growl again, keeping Diego from approaching. Let me finish him. He asked for it. Don't you touch Eric. You stay away. But he takes a step forward, and I growl even louder. Don't. You can't attack me anyway. Let me finish him. I keep growling, ignoring the mind link to use my full wolf's force. Even if Clark forbade me to, I could do it. I could jump and fight Diego, I might even be able to kill him. But that would risk my place in the pack, and much more than that too. I would lose everyone here if I get banished. Diego takes another step, but suddenly, a big silver wolf jumps over my head and hits him full force, growling. What is going on here? Clark's furious voice resonates in our heads, and a lot of werewolves that were watching it all from the sides until now flee the scene quickly like scared rats, unwilling to be exposed to the alpha's wrath. Only a few of us remain, and that's when I finally notice Jace, his wolf knocked out on the side. I run to him, worried, while Joe stays by Eric's side. Clark's growls are directed right at Diego, but he isn't stopping his own growls. Diego, are you trying to piss me off? Attacking pack members. They started it. You should discipline them better, Clark. Those faggots don't even know how to show proper respect to an alpha. I growl even more furiously. He is obviously doing this to piss me off. Calling them faggots when Danny's right there listening, of course, he's doing it on purpose, this dirtbag. My wolf wants to attack him, make him pay for what he did. I keep growling, and Clark too. Shut up. Don't you start fights on my turf, with anyone. I don't care who started it, Diego, everything was fine until you came back and I'm not an IT. This is a warning. I wouldn't think twice about banishing you for good, I swear. Even if I have to beg the king to throw you off this city, I would do it. Diego turns his head away, not submitting but not admitting to his wrongs either. I wish Clark was stronger than that to have him submit for once. I'm so mad at this bastard. Jace is unconscious, and Eric needs to go to the hospital. How could they be stupid enough to even agree to fight him? Joseph gently pushes Eric with his head, inquiring of his state. With the light rain falling, the blood is slowly washed off from his injuries, but he obviously needs stitches. It's already impressive that he's still standing with all those wounds. The beta keeps pushing him, urging Eric to move towards our clan's clinic direction. They both leave slowly, giving glances our direction. Clark might have given a silent order without me knowing because 2 other people from our pack quickly run over to carry out Jace too. Poor Jace. Clark growls to chase the few people left, and it's now only Diego and us. I don't know what game you're playing, Diego, but it won't last long. Next time you pull some ST like this, I'm banning you again, and for good this time. I can't tell if Diego listens to him or not, his eyes are riveted on me. I'm still growling, and Daniel has come over to my side to growl at him with me. Everyone keeps growling for a while, but Clark eventually has to run off to the hospital, probably to make sure Eric and Jace are fine. He keeps growling at Diego until he's gone. As soon as our alpha is out of sight, my ex walks over. I growl in warning. I told you to stay away from me. Now at least I got your attention. Do I have to injure your friends every time? Or should I kill one? You sicko. But he ignores Daniel, as if it was just the 2 of us. So, what's it gonna be, Elena? Shall we do this the easy or the hard way? What do you want? We are done, Diego. I don't want to see you, hear you, or even breathe the same air as you. Really? Do you have to act so pissed off? Just because we had a fight before we parted? I'm beyond furious right now. A fight? He calls what happened a mere fight? I want to kill him. But Daniel holds me back, biting my paw and pulling my tail. I know I can't fight Diego, but I can't even stand the sight of that bastard. We didn't have a fight, Diego, you tried to kill me. No, you're the one who stabbed me, Elena. Who was trying to kill who, exactly? Moon Goddess, I still remember it all, way too vividly. Like it was yesterday. Every word, every hit, every wound. The madness in his eyes. My panicked rushed actions. How we fought like crazy. The blood, the devastating pain in my stomach. My head, hurting so much. Like a nightmare I could have over and over again. I have never been able to forget. There is no therapy, no healing for that. I growl, barely containing my rage. You are me, Diego. You started it the second I said no and you insisted. You did it, you did that to me and I fought back exactly as I should have. What is wrong with you? That wasn't ARE, you were my girlfriend. I'm a wolf, and your mate, I could FK you anytime I wanted. That wasn't ARE, that was merely us playing around. We are alphas, Elena, that was just a game like we always did. So what if you fought a little? How was I supposed to know you didn't want it? Because that's what we've always done, right? Fighting, testing our limits. I can feel Daniel's wolf, so disgusted at Diego's words that he wants to jump and kill him too. But actually, my anger is so high it actually helps me focus and answer him coldly, like the hurricane under the ice. No. There was a limit and you didn't care about it. You never knew how to stop. You didn't care about hurting me or others. You thought I said no to play only because that's what you wanted to think, Diego. Being your girlfriend never meant it would be fine to have S*X with me when I said I didn't want it. Is that what you told the pack? That IRDU, really? Was it fun to play the victim to Clark and the others? You liked it, Elena, you. I lost my child trying to fight you off. Tell me, how could I ever have wanted that? He growls back at me, acting angry for the first time. I didn't know you were pregnant. You hadn't told me, how could I have known, hey? You wrecked it yourself. I would have stopped if I knew, or even if you had been more convincing. This child died all because of you. Before I can even react, I suddenly see Daniel jumping at Diego. I scream internally. Danny, no. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.